Let's make a little quiche. I've got one 9-inch pie shell. This was par baked in the oven for about 10 minutes just because I like to crisp up the bottom. I think it cooks up a little bit better that way. 5 eggs, about a cup of milk, about 8 ounces of mushrooms, 1 onion, a little bit of butter. We'll probably just use a couple tablespoons, and a way to fry it up and a way to mix it up. And we're going to go make a little bit of quiche. Cut off the ends, get the paper off the table, cut it in half, hold a pole, top to bottom. Yeah, you'll take off the outsides. Let's chop up an onion. Just want these diced, so nothing really exciting. These mushrooms are starting to go a little off. They're getting a little brown and funny looking. So I think this is a good way just to kind of wipe them down and use them up in something that they'll be just fine in. Cut however you'd like to slice them. The butter in first. Be a little generous on the butter because I'm actually using this to in the rest of the recipe. And I'm just using an oversized pot because I just made something else. And this way I can rinse it and not have to wash it and bring out a whole new dish to wash. So a little bit of kitchen laziness, or it's like we like to say, efficiency. Get our onions in the pot. Just getting these sauteed. Color is fine, however you like them. Now it smells nice and oniony. Also like to add a little salt. Let's get the mushrooms in there so they can cook out some of their water and not make the quiche all soggy. Let's let that go for a bit. I'm also going to put in a little bit of black pepper, because I like mushrooms and black pepper. And if you're really adventurous, a little pinch of MSG. Well, that starts to cook down. Turn it off and add this other knob of butter in there. It's doing two things for me. One is it's cooling down the mixture so that it doesn't over soak the crust when I put it in. And the other is just gives me some extra butter to use in the recipe without having to slice it up and put it in. Let's beat up some eggs. Make sure you check your eggs as you go. Quiche is a custard. So you're using the egg protein and really the egg fat in the yolk and in any milk that you have, form a stable mixture. You don't need to foam them or try to whisk in any air. You're just trying to get them combined. It's a wrist motion, more of a kind of a round or a figure eight, depending how you want to think about it. Forks on an angle, kind of grab it, and all you want to do is try to combine the what would be the egg white parts with the egg yolk parts. A pinch of salt. It's about a level teaspoon, maybe a little less, and some black pepper. If you don't like the black flecks in it, use white pepper. Let's get that combined. Let's add about a cup of milk to this. If you have heavy cream, or half and half, works a lot better. Creams up much nicer. But this will be good for now, for the everyday quiche. This will be your pour over filling. That'll solidify as it bakes. Let's do a little assembly. Again, 9-inch pan. Let's add the mushroom onion filling here. And again, you can use any kind of vegetable filling you want. Squashes, spinach. Make sure you cook that down first, or else that's going to be really watery. And the trick is to fill it, but don't overfill it. What I like to do is also put in some cheese here as well. So let's get this in. A little mix before we spill in some. So let's try some, and that'll settle to the bottom as gravity and principles of water work to your advantage. Let's add a little cheese. Let's see how much more we can squeeze in here. Don't think we'll get all of it, but we can get a little bit more. All right, that looks about best as we're going to do without making a spilling mess going from here to the oven. Happen to have a little feta, so I'm just going to crumble that on top. You can cover this whole thing with mozzarella cheese if you'd like. That's actually pretty good. And this is also going to go into about a 350 degree, 375 degree oven for close to half an hour. Quiches are a little finicky as when they're done. You want about an internal temperature of around 170, 180, where it barely wiggles and there's no sloshiness to it. So it's a little bit of an art, a little bit of a science, but a good thermometer will help you. In the oven it goes. So this is a little bit close to the jiggle that you're looking for. And let's see what the internal temperature is. 150. Let's give it a little bit longer.